All right. Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. How is everyone doing today? You all hanging in there? I know we're all shocked, stunned, fearful, angry, scared. It's okay to feel those things. Um, I'll say, and I don't know how long this video will be. We'll see how we'll see how long it will be. I wanted to jump on to talk about obviously checking in to see how everyone's doing, um, talking about the election, now post-election, where the energy sit. So I'm not going to be doing readings today. Wanted to more so check in and see how everyone's doing, and just share some things that I was picking up. Okay. Well, you're all so sweet. I want to start off by first thanking everybody for the outpouring of love. It, and I think we all know that there's been a lot of hateful or negative things that have been said in the comments. I've gotten some emails that I've chosen to ignore, but I've also gotten a lot of really wonderful emails and comments. So thank you all. We all have to really be here for one another to get through this. So I'll just say in regards to those that are disappointed, those that are being hateful, you know, I'm fine if you feel like you can't trust me and what I'm picking up, and you don't want to support my channel, I am fine if you want to leave. I'll just say that when I started my channel, my intention for starting so was not to make a big business out of this or um, to kind of stroke my ego and get a million subscribers. My intention with starting this channel and focusing in on the political was to help everybody collectively get through a lot of the hard times that we've been going through. So, if you feel like you've lost faith in me, I'm fine. I'm fine if you want to go. What I don't tolerate is, projection of anger, fear. I'm very empathic and very sensitive, and it's not my responsibility to take that on or have that projected at me. Obviously, I'm here to support everybody in whatever way that I can, but I can't take that on for myself. That's a boundary that I have to set up. So, for the haters, you don't have to watch, and I'm okay with that. You know, um, but for all of you that support me and want to stay together and want somebody to come in and help keep you stable, help grounded, and tell you where the energy is going. I appreciate all of you, and obviously, you're more than welcome to stay. I love all of you. So we'll start off with that. So we'll just start off with the election. Just kind of, I think a lot of us were shocked. I did not come on yesterday, and I felt a little guilty about that, but I just did not feel, being so empathic that I could be grounded. Felt like I was at my best to come on. I did write on election night my thoughts. If you saw it on my community tab, um, I think a lot of us were feeling a bit stunned and weren't seeing this coming. I will say and we'll get into this a little bit longer later, but you know, and maybe we weren't supposed to know a lot of the manipulation that was going on ahead of time. Spirit tells us what we're meant to know um, in these readings. So um, I definitely felt like there would be some, obviously, but just watching the election results come in, and I know a lot of you all feel the same way, something's not adding quite up. You know, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, that I'm right 100% of the time. I own it when I'm wrong. And so I'm not like gaslighting anybody or saying this to, cover my own ass. But we all saw the momentum and enthusiasm in the Harris campaign. All right. We saw the huge rallies. We felt all the joy and hope, right? As the election results were coming in, everything was staying red. And like I said, if I missed a state or a race, I'm okay with that. Even if, even if I was wrong about the election, I can own up to that. But to see it a total sweep for Donald Trump winning all the swing states, um, the Senate, which, the Senate was a tough race for Democrats this time around. It was not a good Senate map. And it looks like the House too, although they haven't called that yet. But the thing that got me was all Donald Trump winning the popular vote. Okay. And like I said, Harris not winning any of the swing states. And then we hear about Russian interference and, you know, explosion threats at whole places in all the big cities and all the swing states. My first thought with that was, okay, there's something more going on, and also this may be a diversion. Okay, but something just did not feel sit. It did not sit right. It did not feel right. I know a lot of you feel the same way, and so I did share that on my community tab. What I'll say is, even though yesterday I I got an hour's sleep, I'm sure a lot of you got no sleep too. Um, I will say that physically, I was scattered, anxious, that nervousness in the stomach. But I'll say at a soul and spiritual level, I feel very much at peace and very much hopeful still. I have not lost hope. And so if you can get some solace in that and find peace in your soul, keep the hope, you know, we're going to get through this. Now, when I focus in on 2025, I am still not seeing Donald Trump or even JD Vance being president. As I focus in on it, I do feel energy around Kamala, but I also feel energy around Biden. Now, with a lot of the manipulation that I feel happen, there's a lot of ballots missing. But with a lot of that manipulation, I kind of feel like something's going to happen. Biden will step in and there'll be recounts and investigations into this. I think Intel already knows, is my feeling. So I'm not saying I see it clearly just yet. Like I said, I don't see Trump or JD Vance in the White House. If that changes, I will let you know. I don't tell you all what you want to hear or what you need to hear. I gave the bad news and got a lot of hate when I felt Biden was going to drop out of the race. So I don't do that. Honesty, integrity is very important to me. And I keep it real with you all, even when it's not great news. Okay. But I still am not feeling them in the White House. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I've been wrong before. And if I feel that energy change, I will let you all know. Okay. But right now, I still have hope. And so I hope, you know, obviously it's still fresh for everybody. Breathe, do that self care, do things that are uplifting for you right now. But do your best to step out of the fear, raise your vibrations, and focus in on the hope, because I don't feel it's lost. And even if, Donald Trump, I'm not going to say it, but we know what I'm saying. If, you know, he's there in 2025, we're all going to get through it. I know it's scary, but we as a collective and us as a group here on YouTube, we're going to get through it. And you can all rely on me and my insight. and other wonderful readers in our community to get through this. If that were to happen, you know, we're here for one another. We're here for this support system for one another. Those that supported him, they're going to have a big wake up call. And that's what Donald Trump's purpose really is. He's that agent of change. He brings a lot of the corruption that's underground up to the surface, but he's awakening people. He's awakening people to the corruption. And I think it's kind of funny that, his message is drain the swamp. Well, in a weird way, Donald Trump's purpose is to drain the swamp and expose all of that corruption that he brings and a lot of the other politicians. Okay? You're all so sweet. So that was my main reason on coming on today, to share some hope and share what I'm feeling and just to be here for one another. Okay? And I will be on with Mel Dore tonight as well. So if you want to come in and be respectful, please. I know most of you are, but um, I don't know how much reading we'll do, but I just want to have a conversation. I think that that's what we need right now. Oh, thank you all so much. So I'm going to go through the chat, see how everybody's doing, see what people are saying. Sweetie darling Lulu says her pendulum keeps saying Harris in January 2025. We got that on Tuesday. You know, um, we got that she would be inaugurated. And another thing that I find really interesting, and you'll remember from a lot of my readings, is every time I read on the election, it seemed like every time the final outcome was always delays, things going on. Now, I thought it was more so Trump contesting the election, all of the court cases, 2020 all over again. But I think with this hangman that kept on coming up, delays, energy being suspended, it was really the investigations that will be going on. So, in a sense, it may have been a misinterpretation, but it's very much where we're at right now and what we feel. And I thought it was interesting that I kept on getting the hangman, but then on Tuesday's show as well, we we got that we'd have a winner election night, like technically the next day in the morning. Remember? So I wasn't wrong with that as well. But like I said, I'm okay with being wrong. I'm totally fine with owning up to my mistakes. I'm not God. I don't know everything, you know? We all agreed to be here during this shift, and it's not always pretty or pleasant. It's uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, all we're really and truly responsible for is ourselves and our energy. So we need to rise up above the fear, even if that were to happen, rise up above the fear and create that peace within ourselves. That's what we can do. And I've heard other readers in the community as well. Um, they're saying it's not over either, and that's how I feel. But we all know the energy and momentum around here is, and to lose the popular vote, for them to say that turnout was low, you all were in those lines. Record breaking early voting, record breaking new voting registration coming in. 2022, um, it was supposed to be a big red wave, okay? And Democrats massively outperformed. Inflation was high at that time. Women were coming out, voting for their rights, for their health care. And I think even a lot of Republicans, like I've said before, that know Donald Trump's threat to our democracy, his insurrection. They were voting with that in mind and to get away from the crazy MAGA candidates. And even after the 2022 election, all of these special elections in red states, deep red states, Democrats overperforming polling by 30 points. You can't tell me that that energy just went away, that nobody was interested. Okay. So I'm not making excuses for myself um, in my predictions. I don't feel like I was wrong. I guess we'll see if that comes out, and um, we'll see how close it was. You know, another thing that is coming to mind as well. You'll remember on my Tuesday show, my guides told me to keep an eye out in Kansas. And I will say when Kansas's results came in until it was about 50-55%, Kansas, at that point, they had already called Nebraska, but it was Iowa, Missouri. Those 4 states, they were all blue, and they were blue till they hit 50-55%. And now he's over his 2020 numbers. You know, it just it does not make any sense. Thank you all so much. I'm doing okay. I got a good night's rest. I took a nice salt bath. Was able to kind of relax myself and get a good night's sleep last night. So, like I said, I still have hope. I'm still feeling hope and that the fight's not over. But thank you all for all the support and all the love that you give to the other readers in this community. We all appreciate you so much. Amen, Val. Yeah, we had the 3 of Cups come up a lot of times when I run the election, and actually on election day when I threw cards, we had the Empress card come out, which is a female, pregnant female fighting for their health care, for their pregnancies, for their rights for their body. But, also thinking about it now too, the Empress is often a card of Russia for me, so it could have been a bit of a warning. And another person that comes straight to mind when I focus in on what happened in the election on election day, I see Elon Musk and being involved with it too. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I put it on slow mode, but I know that we all need to vent, share this space. All right. Oh, I love that, Debbie. Says we licked our wounds yesterday with our tails tucked between our legs, but now we're snarling out our teeth ready to fight. Amen. Yep. We have to fight for what we believe in and for our country. Thank you. Yeah, I feel good today. Like I said, I felt a little guilty. I didn't come on yesterday. I know a lot of other readers did, and I'm so thankful that they did. But like I said, being so empathic and being in my own energy, feeling so um like I said, I had peace in my soul and calmness and optimism, but energetically, obviously we were all shaken, shattered, shocked. And I just knew with how everybody was feeling, I would be picking up on that and I would have a very hard time getting through it and ultimately probably not keeping it together the most. Like I said, I had an hour's sleep. I'd probably not even. So, and that's a lesson too, maybe that we're all collectively learning and which we have learned with when Trump was president, um, is to not allow people to steal our peace, to lower our vibrations, to rise above the fear and the anger. It's hard because we all have PTSD for the last decade, and we've seen so many injustices and so much hate. But what we can do and what we're responsible to do during that is not to allow that person to take your power, to take your loving vibrations, not allow them to dim your light, but to rise above it and find that peace and love within yourself and your heart. You know, and I've said this many times in the channel. I feel like obviously um the hardest times that we go through or the hardest things, the hardest challenges that we go through in this life are really those opportunities for us to learn and grow the most. I will say for myself, had it not been for COVID, I would probably not be here right now. And I know that there was so much suffering and heartache and loss during that time. But for me, it was really that spiritual awakening moment that I needed for myself and got me into a place where I felt comfortable to step out of the fear and doubt and start my YouTube channel, to really take that faith, that leap of faith. And when you can just let go of the fear, the control, and you can rise above it, you'll be amazed by all the wonderful blessings that life has in store for you. I certainly am. From all of your love and support. Um, Recently, started teaching Reiki and becoming more of that teacher mentor that I meant to be on my path, and doing events. My first event in Chicago. Um, if you would have asked me before COVID or when I first started my channel, I would have told you, it's not going to happen. I wouldn't have thousands and thousands of supporters and subscribers, which I'm very thankful for. Okay. Yeah. Well, we heard that there was a big secret there, right? I agree, Roxy. Biden's working behind the scenes. And you could kind of tell with even with Harris's concession speech, and I did see Biden speak today. I felt like maybe I was just picking up in their energy, but with their speeches, I feel like there was some undercover knowing of what's going on. And you have to think about this too. For these political campaigns, they have so much internal data. They know their voters, they do that outreach. Um, maybe they don't know 100%, but they have a good idea of maybe the margins that they're working with. And so the campaign would know through their own data in these swing states what it looks like the projection's going to be. Okay. I'm telling you, Intel's already working on it now as we speak. And I went out for the first time today since the election. I had to go to the store, and I could just tell energetically picking up on everybody just feels so defeated, you know? All the women in the store, and I'm here in Ohio, and it's a pretty red state. I saw all the Harris Waltz flags. They were or signs. There were a lot less Trump signs than 2020. Okay. So I just know intuitively how I feel like it's not adding up. Oh, hey, Kevin Lewis. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, you're welcome. I'm here for everybody. Yeah, you know what? And I haven't cried or broken down at all since election night either, to be honest with you. I just still have that overwhelming sense of hope and faith that this fight is not over. And I know a lot of people were worried that, Kamala conceded, but a concession is not binding, legally binding. If you remember in 2000, Gore had conceded and then he withdrew his concession. They would concede because they obviously, democracy is important, and in a democracy, there's a peaceful transfer of power. Now, until they have all of the facts, until it's been fully investigated and they have all the facts, they're not going to say, "Oh, this was cheated." That's doing exactly what Donald Trump did, and we're better than that, you know? So she can withdraw her concession once they have every all of the evidence there to make their case, and they won't do it before they're ready to. But yeah, thank you, Ness. Let's take some action. Write Biden, your senators, House members to check in the election, ask for them to do that recount. Oh yeah, I can only imagine a woman's march, January 2025. Yeah. Hey Tisha, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, we're all good. Thank you. Like I said, I'm not worried about being wrong. I don't feel I was, and I would own up to it if I did. You know, I don't do this because I need to overinflate my ego and prove that I'm right about everything. I've been wrong and I'll be wrong again, but it doesn't feel that way to me. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Ontario. Yeah, a lot of us are distraught. We're all sensitive. We're all upset and we're and shocked and did not see this coming. A lot of us are picking up on everybody's energy, but then our own fears. And like I said, it's okay to have emotions and to feel however you're going to feel. Don't suppress that, but let's act upon it and let's raise our vibrations. You know, we still have more fighting to do. We can't give up hope. And there's still hope on the horizon for us. Yeah, I think a lot of us feel angry, violated. It was an attack on our Constitution and our democracy by foreign adversaries and by the corruption of some individuals running for office or benefiting from it. Yeah. And you'll know too, and I almost wonder if in 2020 Donald Trump thought he, had it in the bag for obvious reasons, and when that result didn't end up taking place, um, that's where it was cheated. It was cheated because I had a plan in place to make sure that I would win my reelection. But he looked very smug and very confident, like he knew he had it in the bag. Yeah, And that's a very good point too, and I'll just share my own experience. When Hillary lost in 2016, and another reason why I had a very strong feeling that Biden was gonna drop out early was because the 2016 election results and that debate performance, all I could feel, it felt like a death. It felt all I could feel was grief, mourning, sadness. It felt like an ending, and I do not feel that way at all right now. Yeah, and you know what? I'm by no means an astrologer or very knowledgeable about astrology. I find it interesting, um, but when I hear astrologers talk, it's almost like a foreign language to me. But from what I've watched astrologically, it's almost like a lot of confusion, delays, and it's almost like, different results that will be exposed coming up too. Um, so from a lot of astrologers, it actually kind of reflects with this period where there's, investigations going on and it looked like somebody was a winner, but they're not, and they're not going to be that winner. Okay. Oh, we have 1,500 people watching. Thank you all. I know we all just need to breathe. We're gonna get through this. And in all fairness, there are psychics and astrologers on the other side. Um, but I know for our community, and those are the people that resonate with me, with the information that they give. Um, yeah, I trust our community of psychics and astrologers, and my own intuitive feelings. And me and Mel will be on tonight at 8 p.m. It'll be so nice to get back with Mel, and hopefully he doesn't have a lot of traveling and trips, and starting to do more of a regular thing. Of course, I came on. I needed to take care of myself yesterday. Like I said, I did post on my community board my feelings on election night. So I'm not going to just abandon everybody. This is what I'm here for. Like I said, I just did not. And I'm sure a lot of you felt the same way. I did not feel up to it yesterday, and I just would not have been any good or emotionally able to really tap in. Picking up on everybody's energy, it would have been a lot. So I took a good bath, did a lot of Reiki, really helped ground my energy. Yeah, and I know it's a disappointment for all of us. Those results are not what should have been, and like I said, a lot of us are angry, fearful. We're valid in our feelings and emotions, but we can't give up hope. We have to fight, and like I said, if I feel like the energy changes and she will not be our next president, I will let you know. But I am not giving up on hope till every vote's counted, till there's investigations and recounts. Okay. And like I said, and if it doesn't go her way, I'll still be here. We'll get through this. Yeah, that's what I thought. The beer pantry show. You can't even cheat right. They made the steal too big for us not to notice. Exactly. That's what I said. Like if Carrots would have taken a swing state, I think the big red flag was the popular vote. Um, Even in 2016, Hillary still had the popular vote. We know that people were voting for Harris, and it just doesn't add up. They could have showed it to be a close race, but losing the popular vote, no. Yeah, it does hurt. It does hurt. Yeah, we feel tired, drained. So I said we need to take care of ourselves, breathe. Um, like I said, try your best to focus in on the positive. Seeing her in the White House 2025. Um, Yoga is very good. Obviously, I do Reiki healing. If you do Reiki or you know a Reiki practitioner, can be really good at raising the vibrations. I think even watching like a funny movie or talking with friends where you have that good laugh, you know, but just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Another thing, and it's I've had to do this. I've been watching it a little bit off and on, but please turn off the news until something, comes out. This energy, this big explosion coming out of investigations, because it doesn't do us well to to sit and feel all the energy of all the commentators talking about his administration and all of that. Like I said, it's not going to go that way. So why waste our time and energy consuming that? I don't know when it will happen, but it doesn't feel too far off, Alex. It almost feels like we'll get hearings of it. Maybe I think it will take some time for it to develop. And if Biden has to, he's got immunity now, so he can hold off that transfer of power through his own immunity till it's all been fully investigated. But I think we'll get news of it within the next week or two. Like I said, it will take some time, I think. Like I said, inauguration day comes around and we see Trump, you know, I will own up that I was wrong. But until then, I'm not giving up until all the votes are counted and recounted. Yeah, it's not automatic recounts, but they can still Harris, her campaign has a lot of money, so they can still pay for recounts. Yeah, I think she had 63 million votes, or last time I checked, Donald Trump had like 4 or 5 million votes over her in the popular vote. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yeah, Trump said you don't need to count the votes. He said that him and Mike Johnson had a secret plan. And I'm almost wondering, maybe I know and a lot of other readers and I have said, I feel like major investigations, people going to jail. I almost wonder if it was not over the 2020 election, but over this election. Or maybe it's both. That really resonates as true for me as well. I think usually, and I think it depends on the state too, but I think it's usually within a 1% margin or like a half of a percent. There's in some states there's automatic recounts, but they can still request recounts. And I guarantee you, if Intel's saying something is off, they can demand recounts. Like I said, it might cost them. They may have to pay for it, but yeah, watch some funny videos. It does help. And it was hard for me yesterday too because my husband was so upset. Like I said, um, I I wasn't feeling good energetically, physically. But I feel like it's gonna be okay. But my husband was definitely losing hope and saying, what's the point of even voting and all of that. And you know what? Like I said, we're valid to feel the way that we're gonna feel. But the thing that we can't do, allow yourself to feel that and allow yourself the time to feel that. We all work at different paces. So, it's okay if you're scared, angry for the next couple of days. It's still really fresh. But just do your best not to allow it to defeat you. Continue to do things that make you feel better and to raise your vibrations. And we'll get through it. Exactly, Froxy Roxy. A lot of pundits and media are analyzing and saying everyone read it wrong. I don't believe them for a second. Yeah. Yeah, please turn off the news. Like I said, when there's some big news coming out, watch it, but don't spend all of your day watching the news. Another thing that I thought was really weird is that, like I said, I was expecting delays and fights after the election. So I knew for myself, okay, I need to make sure that I take the next 2 days off at least. I do have some sessions tomorrow, but then you know, but I knew I needed the time off, and then you'll know that I was talking about maybe, getting feedback from people about doing another Reiki class before the end of this year, and I did have quite a few people that were interested and sent their feedback that they were interested. But then when I was thinking about dates, I was into November, early December, and I just felt like spirit was telling me no, it's not the time to do that. And so I don't have dates for it yet, and when I do, I'll announce it. But I'll be doing something in January, I think. But I knew that the energy felt like there was something up. It's heavy, even at the end of this month, beginning of next month. Yeah, that's a very valid point. Yeah, you can feel how you want to feel, but it's how you respond and how you behave with those feelings. Hmm. Trini says even people who I know is MAGA said that the results ain't right. That something is wrong. Yeah, if they say it, then you know something's wrong. Yeah. Yeah, and the election results came in so quickly too. I can't do a Reiki healing today, but I'll make sure, if I'm able to this weekend or maybe early next week, yeah, we can do a Reiki healing live stream. For my members, we are doing our healing and group prayer circle. We have our next show um, next Monday. I don't know the date off the top of my head. Let me see. The 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern, if anybody wants to join for that. But um, yeah, I'll try to do a Reiki show for those that want that. Yeah. Usually it takes time for some states because it's so close. Well, and like I said, there's a bunch of votes that were not counted. So, yeah, they got it done a lot quicker because they weren't counting as many votes. I will say though, my only fear, um, with where I feel like the energy is going to go, is if they do an investigation, it will, the other side it's going to be so brutal, and I really fear for that violence, you know, and it will make us so much more divided than we already are. But also too, we need to respect the will of the voters, but they live in an alternative reality. Actually, that's how I felt yesterday with the election results. It's like, am I in a different time in reality? That's how shocking it was to me. Yeah, so I do fear for unrest and violence, that were to happen, because they'll think it was stolen again. I won't. In their minds, they think it's again. It was not stolen in 2020. Yeah, the truth does need to come out. I agree, Lisa. And the will of the voters, it needs to stand, you know. But we know how loud and how hateful they are, and they're all into conspiracy theories. So there would be no telling or reasoning with them that, no, actually something was wrong. It just plays into that narrative that they've created. Chris MV, I don't want to put up your post because I don't have it verified, but can you put a link in to verify that if you like read it online, or if anybody else can confirm that? It kind of feels like it, but no, I don't think so, Irish Rose. Like I said, spirit gives us all what we need to know, and if maybe there's a lesson that comes in, maybe, you know, it might look like we're wrong or the timing was moved, um, but like I said, I felt delays and challenges to the election. I just thought it was from the other side, but I think it's now going to be from our side because there was manipulation on our voting, and maybe we weren't supposed to know that beforehand. Maybe this was supposed to happen. I said in my 2024 predictions, um, my video earlier this year, I felt global unrest and protesting, and we've already seen quite a bit of that. But no, it does. It feels a bit dark. Brenda says it's so sad how people believe in the snake oil and don't care about the truth. We are so desperate for justice with this guy. He has done so much wrong. How can this be happening? Well, you know what? That's the reality that they want to create for themselves, and that's what Donald Trump is doing for a lot of us. It's waking us up, But for them, they like that reality that he's created, fake news and misinformation and conspiracy theories, and that's the reality that they want to create for themselves. So they create it in their mind. No, I don't think so, Jackie. I feel like it's gonna come out. We're gonna get hearings of it within the next week or two. It might not be completed, that investigation, till inauguration, although I still kind of feel like inauguration day, it is completed. But if it's not, Biden will assert some kind of presidential order to, he may stay in there after inauguration for a few more months to get everything all situated. And like I said, maybe the good thing with the Supreme Court with the presidential immunity is that they can do whatever and they can't get in trouble for it. So, and I do believe Biden and Harris, if like I said, I feel like they already know there is investigations going on now, but they wouldn't just give the country over to Trump for peace because he is such a threat. They would fight for all of us, for the truth to be revealed. Yeah, I mean, he could be like, this was an act of war against our country, against our constitution and democracy with interference. All right. Well, we've been on for almost an hour, you guys, and like I said, I will be back on with Mel tonight. I don't know how much reading we're going to be doing because, like I said, I think a lot of us are just kind of drained, but um, we may do some predictions. I'm sure we'll do some, but um, more so just being here for the community and sharing our thoughts. Um, so please be nice. That's my one boundary is we have to be respectful. If you disagree with me and you don't want to watch, you don't have to. Please unsubscribe if you think I'm a fraud or um, I'm telling you lies or telling you what you want to hear. If you feel that way, I'm fine with you leaving. I respect that and get it. I didn't have it all. I didn't receive that information to say, okay, well, he was going to win and then it was going to be challenged and she came in. Can just tell you with what I feel is that there was manipulation and like I said, I still have hope for Harris getting in there. So it's not over. So if you want to believe that and you can be respectful, I love all of you. So stay. But if you feel like you can't, I understand too. And I wish everybody the best. But let's keep it respectful for myself, for the other readers, when I do collaborations with other people, and for the community. And that's all I ask. I don't tolerate any attacks or hate. You can have your opinion, and we can disagree. We can do so respectfully, but when it crosses that level of respect that's needed, I don't want that energy associated with my channels. Okay. So I will see you all at 8 o'clock tonight. So in a little bit with Mel. And I'm sending you a lot of love. Hang in there. Like I said, do those things that are uplifting for you, the things that you love, and just try to find that peace within yourself. Okay. All right. Take care. I'll see y'all soon. See you later. All right. Bye bye.